former Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero and 2 others have been arrested by EACC officers in an alleged 68 million Kenya shillings graft case. 13 suspects are being sought for at the moment. This is what we have in terms of more details.
Of course, 68 million, as Wahiga has said, is the big number that is on the table. And former governor for Nairobi, Evans Kidero, arrived at the EACC headquarters a bit earlier. We've seen the fact that they're being prosecuted, or rather the various offences that are around this is 1, conspiracy to commit an offence of corruption, unlawful acquisition of public property, abuse of office, money laundering, dealing with suspect property. 13 people have also been mentioned alongside the former governor. And right now we want to cross over to the EACC headquarters and talk to our political correspondent, Chimtai Goin. Chimtai, good morning. This is a cold, wet Friday morning, and just as the mood appears, I'm sure it's the same thing for a few individuals. Have all the 13 suspects arrived at the EACC headquarters?
Well, Zinzi and Wahiga, we are still waiting. The 13 are being sought and have been asked to voluntarily present themselves to EACC headquarters here at Integrity Center, including the Nyakach Member of Parliament, Mr. Aduma. We are waiting. We've been notified that any time from now we should be expecting a few of them to be brought in. So we are still on standby. But what we know so far is that former Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero is at the EACC police station, and also together with former Chief of Staff in Nairobi County during his tenure, George Wainaina, and also Paul Mutungi. Those are the 3 who have so far been arrested. Actually, the 2 of them are Mr. Wainaina and Mr. Mutunga came in a bit earlier, but Evans Kidero was brought in a bit later. We saw him accompanied by one of his lawyers, Nelson Harvey. We will be waiting to possibly hear from them what is happening, but also information that we have is that Dr. Evans Kidero and possibly the rest that will be arrested alongside him will be spending the weekend here at the EACC police station ahead of their presentation in court. Looking at a document here by the Director of Public Prosecutions, actually outlining how the investigations into this issue was carried out, saying actually that the file was submitted to them by the EACC on 11th December 2018. But on perusing the file, they found that there were various gaps. They returned the file to the EACC for further investigation. And upon further investigations by the EACC, the file was resubmitted on 4th April this year. DPP saying after looking at the file this time, they had sufficient evidence to charge Kidero and the others. And we are expecting just to see possibly what their argument will be. Remember, looking at the payments of these 68 million shillings, 10 million shillings was paid in 2011. But in 2014, the rest of the 58 million shillings was paid. And according to the file by the EACC, the company that was paid, the legal Aduma Joshua, who is now the Nyakach Member of Parliament, was then the acting legal affairs, director of legal affairs at the Nairobi City County Government. And at that point, he ordered the payment of a certain law firm called Washira Mburu Mwangi Company Advocates. And this company was paying a certain company called Chavi Holdings Limited. But upon investigations by the EACC, they found that the company named Chavi Holdings Limited did not actually exist, and therefore it appeared that the Nairobi City County Government paid a ghost company that particular amount of money. And actually in the report it says that company was the one that sued the Nairobi City County. So essentially, according to the EACC detectives, this was a non-existent company that sued the Nairobi City County Government. And the property that was in dispute at that time, belonging to Mariakani Primary School, had never been reallocated. So this is why there is a charge of unlawful acquisition of public property. And then we also saw another report from the EACC indicating that the lawyer that was representing Chavi Holding Limited, this company that sued the Nairobi City County Government, did not have a practicing certificate at that time. So a lot of charges really being leveled against the individuals that are set to be brought here, and those that are already in the custody of the EACC detectives. So we will be pitching tent here to possibly try and get more detailed information about how many will be brought in by close of business, and possibly when they will be presented in court. But as far as we know is that Dr. Evans Kidero will be spending the weekend here at the EACC police station, unless there may be changes that we may notify you a little later.